So I don't know how I want to do this video. I've been thinking about doing this video for like the last 2 weeks, because it's been 2 weeks now since I put in my resignation with Apple, so that's Apple Retail, and decided to go full-time on YouTube. Yeah. So I do know that for this video, there's not going to be any edits. If I stumble through stuff, I stumble through stuff. I wanted it to be as honest of a video as I could make. And I don't know, just want to kind of talk to you guys about this. Because, it's because of a lot of you that actually watch this channel, the Cruising Canada channel, that I was able, or am able, to kind of do what I'm doing right now. So I worked a little bit of a history lesson for you guys of me, because I worked for Apple Retail for the past almost 11 and a half years. I started there way back in 2009 as a creative. So for those that don't know, creative is what they call their like in-store trainer. So you help train some of the internal staff. Primarily you train external customers. So customers that would come in and they'd book appointments with you, especially back in the day, used to be what was called one-to-one. So one-on-one training with you. Then you do workshops and all kinds of stuff. And I'll be completely honest, that was the best job when it was kind of that, especially when I was, I don't want to say young, but younger than I am now. It was what I wanted to do. And I remember thinking to myself when I got hired at Apple that, this was the job that I was going to retire. It would be the job that would take me from, I would have been in my late 30s at that point, all the way through to when I decided to retire and call it quits and go live on an island somewhere. Might be Prince Edward Island, but it sounds good. And that was always my intent and always my thought, because I love the job. I love the people I was working with. We were the first store to open the city that I live in, and everything was just kind of what I wanted out of a company. But, as I got older, and I want to say Apple themselves as a company, I feel, maybe it was the stores I was involved in, but I feel changed a lot. The attitudes of everybody in the store changed a lot. The people that I worked with, a lot of them changed a lot. There wasn't that diehard Apple fans that were being hired in that had an incredible knowledge of Apple products. And not that that's needed by any means, but, to showcase that passion, I think you really needed to have that passion for Apple that, made that working place such a fun place for those that, we found like-minded individuals, I guess, is a good way to put it. But slowly over time, it changed. And about, if you look at the stats for my YouTube channel, it started way back in 2006. So not that I've been at this, don't make it sound like I've been at this for like 14 years. I started just uploading videos to YouTube, and they were mostly just like family videos. But probably about, 3 years ago or so, from now, I was like, you know what? It was a fun way for me to have some creative process, to be able to work with a lot of the things that I had. I loved photography. I loved making videos. My background, actually, what I went to school with was broadcast design. So working with cameras and editing. So I was like, how can I do this for myself on my spare time? And YouTube was just that outlet for me. So it started off just being like, I'll put up a video once every, week or 2 weeks or whenever. And then that started rolling a bit more, which was good. And I think within like the first year, maybe it was 4 years ago. Probably within the first year, I hit like 1,000 subscribers, which was like hee-haw. It's awesome. The first time you hit like 1,000, it's like the best feeling in the world. And again, I'm doing this really just part-time, right? Because I'm full-time working for Apple. And in the second year that I'm really kind of focusing on it, I went from 1,000 to like 5,000 subscribers. And I was like, wow, look at that. That's pretty good. And then in year 3, I went from like 5,000 to, I think it was somewhere in that year from 5 to almost 12,000. And that was pretty incredible. And at this point, you know, I had suffered a lot of anxiety and a lot of, I don't know what I want to call it, anxiety, depression, just unsure of what I wanted to do. I was at that point with Apple that, you know, as someone that's getting older and has a family, and I was missing out on a lot of things because it's I think working at Apple retail is a young person's game, or a single person's game, or maybe a retired person's game, because you need so much flexibility and for when you have to work. You know, there was no way for me to be 3 weeks from now, I want to get this day off and book a time with my wife or my daughter or a friend and be like, hey, let's go do this. I remember last summer, I actually set up to do something like a guy's weekend. And by the time that weekend came up, I couldn't go. So everybody else went, and the person that came up with the idea had to work. So that, and again, I was at full-time at that point, and I ended up going part-time. I was like, I can't do it. YouTube is taking up more and more of my time. You know, I was working doing YouTube stuff at that point, 30, 40 hours easily, and I'm working 40 hours at Apple, and this is per week. So at the end of 2019, I went down to part-time. And I went down to part-time with the hopes that, you know, I could do minimum part-time hours, still be able to work there, because I still enjoyed a lot of the people I worked with. I still enjoyed a lot of the customers that I worked with. As a trainer, I had some great opportunities and experiences to build relationships with a lot of fantastic customers that had a lot of similar passions to myself. But I went down to part-time because I wanted to focus more on the YouTube stuff. And I just didn't get the support from Apple to let me do that. You know, they talk about all this passion stuff, and that's great, but talk, unfortunately, is just talk. I had wanted to go down to 20 hours. I begged to go down to 20 hours, and I was getting 28 and 30 and 31 and 32 hours a week. And my YouTube stuff was taking me longer because I was trying to invest more in it. So a lot of you that have seen our channel, or my channel, have noticed that even now, you know, I used to shoot with one camera and do a screen capture. And then it was one camera and a top camera and a screen capture. And now I'm actually shooting, you know, with 3 cameras, a top camera and a screen capture. So that's 5, and it takes a lot of time to edit this stuff. So, you know, I couldn't be working 40 and 50 and 60 hours during YouTube stuff to try to put out a video a day, which is what I was doing, and still am doing, and work 30 hours a week with Apple. And it didn't matter what I said or what I asked for, or they just wouldn't do it. But other people that I talked to were getting 20 hours. So I don't know, again, and I don't want to clump Apple as a whole in regards to this, because I'm sure there's a lot of people that work for Apple that love their jobs. I loved my job. I didn't love that lack of having any kind of work-life balance at all. And even when I tried so hard to allow myself to stay working there, they just wouldn't partner with me. So I put in my resignation. Yeah, I put it in October 24th, 2020. So I am now officially a full-time YouTube guy. That's it, full-time YouTube. It's happening. And I'm gonna say this, and it's take this to heart, I think, because it hasn't been an easy 3-4 years by any means. It's been 4 years of me busting my hump, really trying to work these 2 almost full-time jobs. And I want to especially thank all you guys and gals that watch these videos, because watching the videos and clicking on the links, and if you go to buying some stuff off of Amazon every once in a while, so our links, it all helps, and it's all helped me be able to do this. This is my job now. This is what I'm going to be doing. So my hat's off to you guys, because without you investing in me and investing in the video stuff that I make, I wouldn't have been able to do this. I'm now able to spend way more time with my wife and my daughter. I'm still working 40, 50 hours a week doing this, but this is what I enjoy doing, and I get to do it from home. And there's times that I don't have to wear pants, and that's a huge plus. That's a huge plus. Am I wearing pants now? You don't know. You don't know. Leave comments below. What do you think? Am I? So, the video here, or the title was, why I left Apple to pursue, YouTube, or why YouTube won in regards to this. And, I want to thank you guys again. And it's because without you, I wouldn't have even had this opportunity to make this choice. But Apple didn't give me anything really in return, even though I tried to partner with them. You guys give me that opportunity to work hard, for sure, but to build relationships with you guys, and to work and do stuff that I love, and to be able to spend time with my own family and friends, which is something that I just couldn't get. I just didn't get. And you know what? Do I make a lot of money off of YouTube? No, not at all. I'm fortunate enough to have a wife that makes enough that, she makes enough that we can survive off of with what I make. Did I take a huge pay cut? Yeah, but that's okay. And I want you guys out there to think about that, right? It's one of those things that I think too many of us really we get stuck in a rut, we get stuck in a job, something that we don't like, and the rest of our life suffers because of it. Sadly, we're only on this planet for so long, and I intend to make the best of it for what I have left, and I'm bringing you guys along for the ride. Yeah, that's what's happening. All right, guys, this was a weird video for me to make, but I don't know. I felt the need to talk about it and to let you guys know. And again, don't take this as don't work for Apple. No, because if you're in a scenario that you can, or maybe your store that you apply for does have that flexibility and will work with you, then that's great. There's a ton of great people that work there, and I had some amazing experiences. But for those of us that want that flexibility and that freedom and that ability to have that balance, it wasn't there for me. It just wasn't, Yeah, 11 years. Cut the cord. You guys see it right back there? Maybe you can see it right here. I'm gonna show you this. It weighs a lot. That's what I got right there for 10 years of service right there. Yeah. So it sits up on that shelf as a reminder to me that it was time to move. But something, I don't know. All right, guys, I'm going to leave you there. I swear that wasn't an edit. My card filled up. So, I told you it wasn't going to be any edits. So, ignore that. Murphy's Law, right? Alright guys, like, comment, share, subscribe. Again, leave comments down below. I always appreciate them. I like talking with you guys. And we'll see you guys next video. It'll be less serious. Back to tech stuff. Alright guys, later.